It is the Riot. We're podcasting.
For Friday. There'll be no podcast on Monday.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm going to be gone.
Yeah, he's going to be out, but we'll return on Tuesday. So enjoy this podcast and really make it count over the weekend.
Make it count. So stuff you're going to hear, probably the big one, us talk to NIGHTBIRDE.
Yeah, she's an artist we play on RadioU. Wonderful, wonderful person who has just such great music. We have now premiered her new song, It's Okay, on RadioU. That was a big announcement we had with her this morning. So when you're done with the podcast, I know we can't play music in the podcast, but I would suggest you take some time and go check out her new song.
Okay. Other things you'll hear, Hollow Earthers, Bear and Breakfast, the Avengers beta, details on how to get into that this weekend. Nikki dissing something very important in my life and not being willing to participate in something I care about deeply.
It's a we'll see. It's a maybe.
It's fine. Let's see. Batfleck, protesting at bowling alleys, PGA Tour, golf, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, drive in. Was that it?
Yeah, no.
Drive through? Or drive in?
Drive into.
Drive into, that's it.
That's what it is. We also tell you ways to get a husband, and we talk cruises.
If you were looking for a husband in the 1950s.
1958 to be exact.
So these are signs if you're looking for a girlfriend, what are you supposed to be looking for her to be doing to show you that she is interested in a relationship?
Yes. Now, I'll just tell you, if you're looking for something a little more modern,
you're going to have to... You're going to have to
what you do
update
is
some of these.
You take some of these and you tweak them.
Yeah. I feel
for
like
context.
Most of them were okay for like a couple of words, and then they're like, then at the end, it's like, and your dad buys this because you're a woman and you're not allowed to. So just take like the first part of like, be kind.
That's good.
Even if he's ugly. Take that part out.
That's in there.
Yes, it is.
It's in there.
So keep the beginning part.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy this podcast.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to text us. Say hello, 877-2-RADIO-U. Or if you have any stories you want us to cover, reminder again, we will return on Tuesday.
All right. See you later.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Nikki, would you consider us to be performers?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Okay. What you and I need to do is start speaking more softly.
Ooh, are they saying that that's a trait we should acquire?
They're saying that that would be a great way for us to help reduce the spread of COVID-19.
Well, we're performers in the room, though. Like, I mean, we're not performers out in a auditorium.
Right. So we're just, intensely breathing on each other right now.
But you guys are safe.
Yeah.
Everything else in the room, that's the worry, but not you guys.
At this point, what are we going to do, right?
We virtually just basically quarantined in here, so it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm not worried. But for everybody else, if you're out, they're saying you should adapt a softer lifestyle, like speak-wise?
Well, this actually, it has to do with performers. And at the University of Bristol, they have done some research and basically said, look, we can go back to having performances. We just need to not be so loud. So, vocalists, if you could sing a little more softly or don't shout.
You mean it's not the crowd, though, gathering?
No, it's you're projecting too much. So you're pushing all your hot virus air
to like the other supporting cast and stuff.
So if you could just quiet down a little bit, that's the problem. It's the volume level because you're pushing so hard. So you're
all coming out.
You're spraying hot virus.
I don't know if that is the fix for bringing back, like, let's say, concerts with musicians and stuff.
Well,
because I don't think they're infecting the crowd. I think it's more everybody just being so close together.
Well, Nikki, apparently that's what you're saying, but that's not
what they're saying.
That's not what they're saying.
Okay, I guess.
So this University of Bristol, of course, in England, and professional rehearsals and outdoor performances have been the only kinds of performances allowed in England. They've had to be outside. And so they're saying, hey, with winter approaching, we can move this stuff inside. We just got to use our inside voices.
Great.
So,
all right.
Everybody sit down, crisscross applesauce, and
wait for you to get the softly speaking stick. You don't want to shout.
Don't yell. And you may toss the stick as, of course, we're all sitting at least 6 feet apart.
I was reading an article with, is it the Duffer Brothers for like Stranger Things and stuff?
Yeah.
And they were talking about how for the season, it became, like you could protect the crew and you can protect the cast members until the moment of filming, because then they have to be close to each other.
Well, yeah.
They have to be within spitting distance of each other. You cannot, for performances, you can't just do it from far away.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no way around it.
All kinds. You end up with all these really awkward cuts of them, obviously, in their houses reading their lines.
It's like you can film a lot of it, separated, but you can't do it all until you have to get close to each other.
But what if the Demigorgon gets us here?
And then there's a big wide shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So I saw yesterday AMC theaters, not all of them, but a lot of them opened up around the United States. Saw some friends of mine going to see Back to the Future last night.
Oh, that was it?
Uh-huh.
Was yesterday their anniversary day?
Yes.
Okay.
So movie tickets were 15 cents.
With a fee afterwards.
I know.
So it's not like it was just 15 cents, but that's fine.
My friend bought 2 tickets, 30 cents, and I believe his convenience fee was $4 per ticket.
Oh, well.
Insane.
Did you talk to them after, though? Were they, how did it feel going to the theater?
I haven't talked to him yet, but I would very much like to. So I'm going to be checking in with him at some point. And then Nikki and I found out that our movie theater, the one with the huge potholes and the toilets that I leak for days on end.
But it's a familiar mess. Like, we love that place.
The botulism cheese.
Oh, yeah, that was a good time.
It's that place.
The flies in the theater.
Yeah.
We've had some good memories there.
They do have really nice recliners, though, guys.
They do, except if you get one that has a rip, and then it's a little weird.
Yeah, but you can't move because you got assigned seating. Mm-hmm. So best of luck on that one.
But that opens today. Yeah, today.
Today. You going to go?
I looked through the menu. I did, because you can now order all the food, and then you order it online on the app.
Okay.
So the concessions as well.
Okay.
So I was, looking at the menu. I missed it.
He's like,
let's look at the popcorn, shall we?
I'm really here to get something to eat.
Yeah, and then I saw the list of offerings for movies today, but nothing really interesting for me.
Yeah. There were 1 or 2 things that I thought, I could go see that, but just for various reasons, today's not a good day for me. But I do think if, Lord willing, the creek don't rise.
Next weekend, maybe?
I really would like to hit up a movie sometime next week. So there's a good chance.
Let's just leave it free and fancy. Like, we'll just see what happens. We don't want to schedule it yet. We just want to be, just whenever it happens.
Just being flexible.
Exactly. Flexible's the word.
Just being flexible.
Yeah. So if we go, we go. If we don't, we don't.
Oh, well.
And it's fine.
It'll be what it'll be.
Yeah. I just want to give it a couple of days so we're not first, but not too long to where if it shuts down again.
I think being first is probably the best thing we could do.
That would be the cleanest it's ever been.
Movie showings start today at 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. You're going to go in there. Aside from it being brand new, it's never been this clean.
What if they put did they clean the carpets? They clean everything? Is it all new stuff? What does it look like?
What if they didn't clean it all and it's just filthy?
Oh, and
there's just cobwebs everywhere.
But no one
dusty.
wants to say anything.
No, but it's nice to be back.
So you are supposed to wear a mask when you watch the whole movie.
So all the way through the movie, wear a mask.
Unless you're eating or drinking, they said.
Nobody's doing that.
But if you're eating your popcorn through the entire movie, you can space it out. But I'm not sure if there's people in the theater policing that, or what are they doing?
I have yet to go anywhere where they say you have to wear a mask while you blank, that anybody is walking around making anybody do anything.
I bet they are at Disney, but not at your local place.
Not at the movie theater, man. I can't imagine that's true. Maybe.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Nikki, there's a presidential election this year.
Really?
I don't know.
No one's seen those details.
I don't know if you've heard that. But, that has a lot of people up in arms in a lot of different ways about, I can't believe this and I can't believe that and oh my gosh this and oh my gosh that. Well, here's something for you to keep in mind. This is so great. I had to look in multiple places to make sure that this was true, and it seems to be true.
What is it?
You ready?
Yeah.
President John Quincy Adams, he was the 5th president of the United States, was a hollow earther.
A what?
He believed the earth was hollow.
Really? I've never heard people. There's a group of people?
You've never heard that?
No. I mean, the flat earthers I've heard.
Yeah. But,
But a hollow earther?
So the belief was, I'm sure there are people that still think this way because no matter what you find, somebody somewhere is into it.
There's a group. There's a group of people that are into it. Whether you can't believe it, you have no idea why. There is a group.
Somebody somewhere is convinced it's true.
I've never heard that.
So here's the idea is that inside the earth, think tiny, those Russian dolls?
The nesting dolls?
Yes, where it's like there's a little one inside a little one inside of a little one.
Yeah.
That was the belief that there was, if you would dig down low enough, there was like another world.
Oh, underneath?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
He believed that?
He did.
Ooh.
And we know this because there was a guy that was trying to find funding to dig a huge hole to get to the second, Earth.
I don't think we're supposed to.
And they were trying to, even though Congress turned him down, apparently the president was trying to back him. Now, they're quick to point out that President Adams had one term and he was not reelected. And that
they just want to make sure everybody understands that they didn't go with that. Oh, I see a map that kind of explains it more.
And so I guess I just want to say that we feel like all of the sudden with the election now, it's like we as modern people have some corner on crazy. We don't.
It just happened the whole time. We just weren't around to ever know it.
We just weren't there for it. So
Does that make everybody feel better?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
There's always stuff.
What would be even weirder is if we found out all of a sudden that there really is the mole people and the lizard people and they're controlling us.
So a hollow earth is a concept that the earth is in its entirety hollow or contains a interior space.
And if you watch the new Godzilla, King of the Monsters or whatever, I laughed out loud in the theater because the guy goes, "Oh my gosh, it is hollow." It's like
and that's a reference to this?
Yes, it is just a quick throwaway line about this hollow earth.
That most people would not get.
They figure out that that's how Godzilla is moving around the planet so fast.
Oh, I see.
He's moving through hollow earth.
Wow, never heard of it.
Yep.
Look at that. We've picked up something new today.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
So I got I think it was an email, text, I don't know, from Nikki last night about a new hot video game that will obviously take the world by storm.
Now, was it Caleb who had sent it to us? He had texted us. And if you guys didn't realize, you can text us in the morning, but people text us throughout the entire day. And I think he's a podcast listener. So he found this game and he thought it would be perfect for us to do a Obadiah Plays or an after show with.
It's called Bear and Breakfast.
Did you watch the video?
You know what? I'm trying to, but it won't let me. So I don't know why it won't let me.
Well, I watched it yesterday.
And?
And it looks great. It's basically you making, I think it's like a bed and breakfast, sort of a hotel like in the woods, a house in the woods.
Yeah.
And it's very run down, so you have to fix the place. And then there's bears around.
Oh.
So you have to be careful.
So this is something that's coming to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And it is coming soon, though it doesn't say when it's going to be coming to Steam.
I don't know how to describe the animation, like the art animation. Is there a word for that? It's very cartoony. It's different.
It does. It has a kind of particular look to it, but in a good way. It looks nice.
It looks independent, but again, in a good way.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a...
It is definitely an independent game. Like it's, they've got a little less money going into it. But, sometimes I'm a fan of game. Wow, look at that. You can move stuff around.
Yeah, so
I'm just looking at the trailer.
You're building the breakfast area, like the B&B or something.
Right.
And you build it up. You make it better because it's dilapidated or it's just bad.
So it's coming to Steam, and then eventually it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. It might be too expensive for that. I bought this one game, very independent, called Roomba First Blood. So it's a Roomba.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Roomba robot vacuum, but it's set in the style of Rambo First Blood. And so you go around and try to kill the people trying to break into your house.
With the Roomba?
And you're the Roomba, so you go around. Independent games look really creative and fun, but then the gameplay sometimes is where it really struggles. So
It depends.
I don't want to pay Switch prices for this thing if it's not any good. We'll buy it on Steam.
Well, I can bring my computer in and we could play on Steam.
Yeah, so Caleb, thank you for sending us the link to it. It looks really fun.
It certainly does.
So it's Bear and
Breakfast.
Bear and Breakfast.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Speaking of gaming, Nikki, this weekend, if you want to play for free, the open beta for the Avengers is happening this weekend.
Okay.
So the last 2 weekends, they had a thing that's like, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you pre-order, you can play now.
There's a lot of qualifiers.
Okay. Then last weekend, it was, if you have a PlayStation 4, a PC, or an Xbox, and you pre-order, you can play now.
And your name starts with a J.
Essentially.
Do they do that to just kind of warm the stuff up so it's not everybody jumping in at once? Or
that is maybe one reason why.
Incentives to
to pre-order.
to pre-order.
Yeah. So that's what they want you to do. They want you to pre-order, you get the code, and it's getting harder. Pre-orders, they love pre-orders. And it's getting harder for them to incentivize pre-ordering stuff. At least, because back in the day, it would be like, oh, pre-order at GameStop and you'll get this mouse pad and pencil sharpener. And like, they just throw crap at you to get you to pre-order.
But they can't do physical stuff really as much anymore.
Yeah, and people are a little wise to that.
They got to make it bigger and better.
Right. So that is one thing. If you look, a lot of games will let you pay to play early. Like Microsoft, they put their stuff on Game Pass, but at least they did a year or two ago where, like with Forza 4, for example, if you bought their like Ultra Deluxe Edition and you pre-ordered it, you got to play 4 days earlier than everyone else. For some people, that's really worth the money. Others, maybe a little cheaper, like me. You wait. And so sometimes I'll do, when they do these pre-order betas, sometimes I'll pre-order and cancel just to get the code.
Yeah.
I was too lazy even for that.
Oh, you didn't even do that.
No, I was just like, you know what? We'll just wait till we get to the weekend.
So this weekend, Avengers is able to...
Yeah, it's open beta.
Open beta this weekend.
So you'll find it on your Xbox, your PlayStation, or your PC. I haven't looked on mine yet, but planning on downloading it and playing it. I'm very curious about it because, one, there's not a lot out there, and two,
we're not as critical as maybe in other years where we had a lot of options.
Sometimes you're just grateful for anything.
We are grateful and thankful.
Wow. We're so glad to have anything.
We appreciate it.
But I've heard such conflicting things. One podcast I listened to, they loved it. Then another streamer, no, this is backwards. A streamer I watched loved it. And then a podcast I listened to hated it.
Aww.
Yeah. So we'll see what's missing. We'll see what bee makes more honey.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Okay, Jim is asking a text here, Nikki. It is Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
You did it. You had a great week.
You're
you
doing
just got
great.
to push and power through today, but it's going to be a great day.
Yeah. So you guys, you enjoy that day.
And enjoy the weekend.
Yeah. You actually, you got anything going this weekend?
Eric is putting together a project of his. So
Tell him what it is.
That's the focus of this weekend. He's putting together his theater at our house.
You got his projector.
He's got his projector. He's got to put the screen on the wall and set all that up. I think his receiver comes today. So
awesome.
It's exciting.
How excited are you right now?
I actually am. When he was testing it and working on something with the projector, Eric is really into video stuff. Like, that's his work. So that might not be important for, say, someone else. But for him, he really likes it. And seeing it up was exciting again. We haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and did he get a 4K projector?
He did.
I'll be interested to see what that looks like. I have not seen a 4K projector in person.
Yeah.
Only, like looked at them online. He sent me several of the ones that he was looking at buying, but I told him, of course, I have to come over when he gets done.
You have to make sure it passes.
I want to see
it. Like when you build something, an inspector comes over.
Yeah,
that's going to be your responsibility.
Let me tell you what, Eric inspects my stuff. I don't inspect his.
It goes the other way.
Yeah, like I don't. I'll just walk and be like, "This is cool."
So we're supposed to work on that today and tomorrow, and that should be fun.
So, what movie are you going to watch when it's done?
I don't know. I might even watch something on Netflix. I might not watch. I don't want to watch something I've watched already. I'd like to watch something new.
No.
Now he can watch something first. He might tell you something different. We were watching Baby Driver when he was testing it.
Okay. That's a great choice.
It was good.
That's a great choice. So, did he get a 4K Blu-ray player?
No,
he and I talked about that. Did you?
I told him I didn't think we should get one. I told him I don't want us to get into buying discs for it. Can't we just not do that? I know you like that, but I didn't want to get into that. So I said, do we have to? Don't look at me.
Nikki.
What? I don't want to. Can't we just buy them, just digitally? Isn't that fine?
Yeah, if you want to compromise on quality.
It's just the sound quality. That's it.
And picture quality.
I think it's fine.
You want to talk about bandwidth?
No, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about bandwidth.
I'll tell you what.
Man, I wish you wouldn't have asked.
Well, I'm going to talk to Eric about this.
To see what he says.
Put all that money into that sound system and that projector,
and then
be like, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's just go ahead and compromise on the quality of the things we feed to it.
True.
We'll get the best stuff, but we'll give it, middle of the road, okay.
Listen,
material
we'll push the 4K player to the side, and we're not ignoring it, but we're just putting it over there so we can set everything else up this weekend.
Okay. I'll just, you know what, Nikki, it's fine.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
I want to say hi to Marvin. Let's see what Marvin had to say, Nikki.
What does Marvin have to say?
We were discussing Nikki not getting a 4K Blu-ray player for her new home theater setup, and he said that's like buying a new car without seats and a steering wheel.
See, Marvin, I think your car, it's like buying a car that has seats and a steering wheel. It's just not the version that you think it should be.
They're like, yeah, it has seats. Look right here. We've got these egg crates that you'll sit on top of. And then we also have, isn't that nice? We broke one of the brooms and we just put the stick in here.
I think you're exaggerating.
And use this broomstick to drive with.
So Tim also texted. Tim said, Nikki, you genuinely hurt Obi's feelings.
You did.
Because I said, I don't want us to buy a 4K player.
It's not just that, because you didn't want to get into.
I never buy physical movies. I haven't bought physical movie in years. And I didn't want to get back into that.
Well, you know what?
And if we had a 4K player, we would get back into that, and I don't want to.
You should get back into it.
I just wasn't planning on it.
Then we could be friends. I'll send you the sales every day. I'll help you.
No, you send it to Eric.
I'll help you track the purchases.
I'm out.
I'll also help you know what are some of the highest quality ones that are there and available. I'm going to help you.
Okay.
I'm not going to force my help on you. Okay? And
just pray for me that I have a change in heart. Is that it?
Well,
actually, it is technically.
I've been doing that for a lot of years, and I don't really feel like things are happening, but I'll keep it up.
Really?
It's not working so far, but I won't give up. Okay. I won't give up.
This is just only the surface. It is Eric's decision if he wants to eventually. So
I'll help him. But of course, if you play this conversation back for him as a good husband, he'll see an opportunity to ally himself with you, and he'll be like, you know what? Don't listen to him.
Actually, I was surprised.
He doesn't know.
He's
only going to have one subwoofer. So
Eric works in this world, so video and stuff like that's important to him. But I never thought until he mentioned it yesterday. I was like, wow. I didn't even think that he would want to get back into actually getting physical discs for the 4K side. But I mean, it does make sense. But I just didn't think we were going to.
I mean, if you're going to have the best,
you have to go all the way.
Got to go all the way. Eli says, and he's right. He says you should get the new Tron, the AV standard to test theater systems. That is if you're looking for a Blu-ray, that is an excellent way to test.
To test audio?
Oh, it's so good.
He's not finishing his speaker stuff yet.
I know.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, so we'll let that go. As far as video goes, I could bring over that new Flash Gordon disc I got.
Yeah.
It's not like an Avengers quality kind of thing, but the restoration work is just fantastic.
Still fun to see.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what? It's...
Well, thanks for all the supportive text messages, not just for Eric, but for Obi, and just making sure that they realize that, their voices are being heard. We acknowledge what they want, and we'll see.
I mean, Nikki, she's kind of like a politician. She hears you.
I hear you, and I understand.
And she understands you, but she's really just here to do what she wants.
But no, listen, I appreciate all the suggestions and the ideas.
It's great, Nikki.
I hate even saying we'll see, but
Nikki,
see what happens.
A dark shroud has fallen over America because of all this streaming that's going on.
We don't need any more.
And we're here to shine the light back. We're going to bring back physical media.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So yesterday, I'll tell you what, I've been having a hard time this week, just with the news in general. But something that I began to realize is a lot of times I say the news, but I sat down to really think about it. And I know this is not everybody, and I probably say this every single week, but just bear with me. I know I'm not alone in this, but I think I'm back to spending too much time on social media.
You can feel when it creeps up to too much.
It really does. And the election especially, I have a really hard time watching people that I like and love disagree intensely. It does something on the inside of me that is not, it hurts on some level. It just hurts. And so I have a lot of friends that feel very passionately about this election. They are posting very intensely about what's going on in the United States. And so seeing friends disagree so vehemently just really weighs on me. And it finally occurred to me yesterday, like, hey, it's not the news cycle that's beating you up so badly. It's watching your friends react to it.
So it's the personal side.
It is.
Oh.
And so yesterday I took everything but Instagram off my phone.
Yeah.
And what I was surprised by, I did that fairly early in the day. I couldn't believe how many times I reached for my phone to get on social media. And it was like, oh gosh, I'm doing it again. But see, because the apps were not there, we all know you can remove the app and still go through your
did you feel
web
better
browser.
Once you would realize, like, hey, or does that take a little bit of time to get used to let it relax you?
I don't know that I would say I felt better, but I became very aware that, like, my social media use had just crept into being like very high level. And, I go on vacation or something and I very intentionally cut myself off for a while, and coming back from vacation, apparently I've allowed it to creep, like, kind of, I wouldn't say out of control, but I'll say out of control.
Well, and then you would take a break on the weekend, but what if it makes you so upset during the week that by the weekend you're all wrapped up in it, where if you took more breaks during the week on social media, you wouldn't be at that point come Friday?
So I think like my go-to at this point is just going to be when we're in the studio and when I'm getting ready for the show. Like, okay, these are my two touch points for social media during the day. But other than that, I'm going to try to pull back. And again, like, I know some people, it seems like you're able to interact with social media and it doesn't bother you. I'm starting to notice, like, it really bothers me, especially when there's something that is very contentious going on. If I got together with friends and they were always fighting, eventually I would just stop getting together with them.
But this is the same thing, but just online.
Right.
Or just don't look at your feed.
Well, that's another thing, but I'm not good at that. I will say to myself, yeah, I'm not going to scroll. I'll just do what I have to do. But I always end up doing it. Like, I always get back to it. And so I don't know. I'm trying to make some adjustments. I bring this up because I know I can't be the only one. And it's kind of tough. But at some point, you just have to say, hey, a little mental stability and feeling better is worth fighting for. And if that means that, with your body, you might say, hey, I've got to stop eating Twinkies. They're killing me. Maybe there are things you're feeding your brain. You got to stop feeding your brain. And maybe every once in a while that Twinkie creeps back in. I just got to keep cutting out the Twinkies till I stop.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So there was a bit of a video game competition that took place over the last couple of days. And you're like, really? Like Smash Bro tournament stuff? What? Fortnite? What? No, it actually was between a United States Air Force fighter pilot.
Yeah.
And a alpha dog fight, which apparently, is that the name of the... I might be getting the AI name incorrect there, but basically we took one of our best fighter pilots and we had them doing dogfight simulators against an AI that we have designed to be this spectacular fighter pilot.
So it was a virtual air combat competition?
It was. And guys, we lost. By we, I mean humans.
Against the machine?
The machine beat us. And so that's it. Here's my thought. I'm not surprised that the machine beat us. I would not be surprised if you told me that we could build a fleet of aircraft with AI involved.
Yeah.
And right now they're talking about this would be a computer that would be an assistant to a pilot. It would not be the pilot. Okay. But let's say eventually we're like, yeah, we got our airplanes that have robots in them. And then they just build, whoever they are, the person that we're building these planes to blow up, they just build planes that also have those in there. So could we just skip the planes and just basically play video game tournaments for war? So it's like, okay, all right. Like, you know what? Let's say theoretically, the United States is mad at Russia-stan. Mm. It's not a real country, but...
It's not.
So the United States and Russia-stan are about to go to war. So Russia-stan sends up its, planes with their electronic brains, and we send up our planes with electronic brains. What if the president of Russia-stan and the president of the United States were just like, all right, we're going to play Street Fighter 2?
Everybody get in.
Best of 3. And if we win, you guys have to pull out of Czechostan. And if
I love what you're coming up with.
If we lose, Russia-stan has to pull back.
Okay.
Or, if we win, you guys have to pull back.
These are all his ideas. So basically, it was 5 rounds of the AI versus human. This started, it seems like last August, DARPA selected 8 teams from what they're calling traditional defense contractors, so normal groups that bring in people, and then other groups to compete in trials, which were in November and January, and then it just finished up with the end of the trial, showing that the AI beat humans in the F-16 pilot in a dogfight.
Mm-hmm. So humans lost, machines win.
So this whole thing was a trial just to show, how does AI and how does the human interaction work?
Can it work? Mm-hmm. And the answer to that is yes, and that Terminator is a documentary.
He added that. That's not what they learned.
They didn't say it, but we're all thinking it.
But they're talking just, it's about algorithms and just seeing the response. So that was back last year, and then I think the last one, like I said, was in January, and then wrapped up today, or recently.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki and I are very, very excited.
Oh, super excited to talk to Jane. You guys know her as Nightbirde. She joins us this morning on Radio U.
Hello, Jane.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you right now? I see a flag in the background. That's all I can get.
I'm in Long Beach, California. I moved here at the beginning of the year. I've had a journey this year.
Okay.
I kind of went through cancer again, all the way down to almost dying, and now here I am, fully alive.
Wow.
Jane is an absolute miracle.
Right here.
I mean, I know we probably can't get as deep into it, but I would suggest a trip back through Jane for NIGHTBIRDE for social media. Even with your announcement of being cancer-free, literally just a miracle with your treatment and stuff, and just seeing you come alive again.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been totally nuts.
Yeah. So why California? What sent you out there?
Well, I got diagnosed on New Year's Eve with innumerable tumors throughout 5 different systems in my body. And the doctors, conventional medicine, kind of said, we can't do anything for you. We might be able to extend your life a couple years, but you will be sick for the rest of your life and die of cancer. And I said, no, thank you. So then I came to meet with a doctor out in California that does different types of treatment. And I thought, let's try it. Sure. And it obviously worked.
Awesome. Well, I want to say congratulations. I will tell you that Nikki and I both got super excited when we saw your cancer-free announcement on Facebook. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So you're cancer-free now, and I want to talk music, but how's life in Long Beach? Are you just like, I'm just going to stay here?
Can you ever leave California then?
I really don't think so. I have no idea how people live far from the ocean. People are so chill here, dude.
Really?
It's just like, yes, people are so chill. And
I
it's
like
amazing.
the sound of
but
that.
I'm here for the foreseeable future.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So in the middle of all of this, you're on this cancer journey. You go from being incredibly sick to feeling a whole lot better. And how did you end up saying it's time to do music again?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think when you come to a place where you're like threatened with the end of your life, you think about what's really important to you. And music is something that has always been my number one way of communicating to the world. And during the time when I was really, really sick, I started writing the songs that I needed to hear. And It's Okay is the summer anthem that I needed. I needed some joy and some hope and somebody to tell me that it's okay. And so I wrote it for myself, and now it's for everyone else too.
So for NIGHTBIRDE fans, that was the big surprise announcement that in just a couple of minutes and starting today, the new song It's Okay is available for you to hear. That's actually the flag behind her. It's okay. So that's the song flag that's there.
Very cool. Very cool. So did you make your own flag, or do you bring in flag making experts for something like that?
Good question.
I have elves.
Flag helpers, yes.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, I mean, in fairness, Nikki, if you had to make a flag, would you know how?
No, but I think we have a flag store that's near us. I'd probably go there and just ask them.
Okay. That's fair.
We would delegate it, probably.
That's fair. So you're going to be in California. You've got new music. Is there anything else that to our audience and to your fans that you kind of want to get out there?
I think I just want to let everybody know that if you're going through a hard time and really it doesn't look like there's any reason for you to hope anyway, and pull up that little rebellious kid inside of you that says no and hope anyway. That's the message that I want to put out there.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
We're so thankful to, NIGHTBIRDE's music with Girl in a Bubble. Obviously, everybody truly loved that song. But as we all followed your journey, a lot of people praying for you and always will be. But we were so thankful, again, when the cancer-free announcement came out. That was the highlight during everything else that's going on. Man, that was the highlight of the summer for us to hear.
Thank you guys so much. That was such a huge moment for a lot of people. And it was so cool to watch that. To watch that video blow up with all the response from people who had carried me through that whole journey.
Yeah, right on. Well, we were and continue to be excited, and we did. I know Nikki and I both spent a lot of time.
We both messaged each other and shared it. We're like, yay!
We did.
And now we get new music too.
Yeah, we had very much been praying for you, so we're so excited to hear new music and to get to see you. And man, I hope that you enjoy the beach every freaking day.
I do.
All right.
Enjoy being so chill, and it just sounds like the perfect spot where you should be at. So that's awesome.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
I'll be right back.
And really?
Well, you know what?
Is something going on over there? Or are
It's
you
fine.
okay?
I'm fine. You know what? I'm just all verklempt.
Still thinking about the cookies? We have a couple left from an amazing listener, Jason, who sent us an amazing set of cookies and cupcakes.
No, Nikki, it's just every time we start talking about Batman, a lot of feelings come out.
Sure.
A lot of thoughts.
So have you been a Batman fan for a while, but you feel like...
most of my life.
You feel like it's not always the best? Or?
But I mean, see, the thing is, I'm a Batman fan, but compared to some people, I'm like totes cash. Like, I'm not hardcore the way they are, I'm not keeping up on what's going on right now in Batman's world. But I do like Batman. And you know what? I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but I will. I like Ben Affleck. I like him and stuff. I think he's good.
Was Christian Bale the other one?
I thought Christian Bale was a good Batman. I thought Ben Affleck was a good Batman. I felt like he got cheated a little bit. Mm-hmm. The movies that he was in got maligned in a way that I felt like maybe the movies were not very good, but his Batman,
his take on it
was good. That's what I think.
Well,
and you know what?
He's out, so.
Oh, he's back.
And then you have, Ben is back or Batman's back? Ben
is back as Batman.
Well, wait, I thought it was the other guy.
Well, they're both Batman.
What? I don't understand.
So, Nikki, there is...
Is he Dad?
The Batman.
Okay.
That's the one with sparkly vampire guy.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
That's going to happen. But in the Flash movie... the Flash is going to be visiting multiple universes, the multiverse, different dimensions, whatever. And he's going to see Ben Affleck as Batman.
Did they film that already then, I assume?
Nope.
No, they're going to...
He's coming back to do it.
Really?
Yeah. They will also...
Is this a movie or like a CW movie?
No, it's a movie.
Movie?
They say that we will also see Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh, that could be interesting.
So... these guys are coming back. Will Ben Affleck be Batman again after this? Probably not.
How come they don't want Christian Bale in there too? Or it feels like maybe he doesn't?
Well, you know what? For all we know, he will be. These are just the two latest that we found out about. What if they did get Christian Bale?
Does that make the upcoming Flash movie interesting to you?
I'm up for that. I'll watch it. When they told me they were making a Shazam movie, I was like, why? What for? Why would you do that?
I think I remember him during that time, but he liked it.
You know what? It was good. In fact, that was one of those things where lots of people thought it was very good. So, hey, whatever.
Bring on more Batman.
If you can bring on a Flash movie that's good hey, I'm always rooting for the movie, not against it. Mm-hmm. I might even go into it I think this is a bad idea. I don't think this is going to work.
Still supporting, though?
But I'm like, hey, I hope it does, and I hope I'm wrong.
So this is not the Robert Pattinson Batman one. That's its own. But for the upcoming Flash movie, they're saying that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, they'll both return since they were previous Batman.
Come on. That's right.
So that's the news.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
The Law of Unintended Consequences. I don't know if it's a law, maybe it's more of a guideline, but you know what I mean. You do something, you don't expect it to cause
consequences,
a problem, and then it causes some kind of a problem, and it affects people. So think about it like this. The governor in your state closes down stuff, and that's what we've done. We've had stay in, shelter in place, lockdown, whatever you're calling it, whatever. Okay. So in the middle of all this, something that you and I haven't talked about that I'm sure is an unintended consequences. Nikki, have we thought about the bowling alleys?
No.
What about the bowling alleys?
I think there's probably plenty of listeners who bowl. We just haven't. It's been a long time.
Nikki, there are people right now that are just
asking that question?
Man, my hand is itching. I am dying to kick my right leg out as I lay the ball down and bring my hand up at straight in a 12-degree angle. If you watch where your hand goes, that's where the ball's going to go.
You're just itching to get back to the lane? Is that what you say?
Get me back to the lane.
I don't know any other bowling terms, so I don't know how good we'll be on this. Are they closed still, or? In
California, in San Diego.
They closed a lot of stuff still.
In San Diego, they had a peaceful protest.
Oh, about bowling alleys?
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
They stood out in front of a bowling alley with signs and everything.
That's not the bowling alley's
hey,
fault.
We want to bring the bowling alley back.
Yeah.
So they weren't protesting against it.
They were just trying to show support.
Showing support and trying to let the governor or whoever know, reopen this bowling alley.
They should set some lanes up outside. That's what everybody did. You take everything outside.
Everything outside. She's right, guys.
You can't work out inside, you go work out outside. That's all you do.
You do everything you can. You just do it outside. You are right.
So they could have been bowling while they were protesting.
You're right, Nikki. Come on.
I don't think it's regulation lanes, but at least it's something.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, it's nothing because there's no bowling ever.
Aww.
But they're trying to do something about it.
And to bring it back. Well, at least in California, again, depending on your state, you might have bowling alleys back already. Just depends.
Well, see, for me, the majority of my bowling experience and bowling cultural knowledge, it comes from, I did after school bowling in 5th grade.
You did? Like a league?
Yeah. It was like a league, but, like nobody was keeping score.
Aww.
It was basically like after school fun.
Sure.
I loved it. It was so fun. And then my family used to bowl. Like there for a while, we went bowling. Like it was a thing. And then.
Well, then we just all bowled.
Once
we used to
do it
for Christmas parties. And then that was a long time ago.
And then the only other bowling experience I have is with the Big Lebowski.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah. So, I hear you.
Bowlers are just so excited. They're like, he's one of us.
I hear you rolled your way into the semis, man.
It's all going to be quotes from the movie, isn't it?
It's all I got. You're like a child. It's wandered into the middle of a movie. You have no frame of reference.
So if you bowl, that's what they're doing.
Here's what I want to say. We hear you. Mm-hmm. And we see you. All right? We know.
I actually don't. Something about striking out. I don't even know. We won't turkey around with you. Isn't turkey something?
That's 3 strikes.
Yes.
Come on.
We'll see, but I'm sure it'll be fine eventually.
Best of luck.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
We were mentioning earlier in the show, there's a free beta of the Avengers happening this weekend on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC. So that's something free you can play this weekend. Something I had no idea was coming is the new golf game from 2K.
We go from bowling to golf.
Come
what
on.
Are we doing?
Man,
sports
we're killing
around.
it. We're killing. Don't tell me there's no sports.
Much sports on this show.
We're doing bowling protests and golf games.
So it's sports and politics. It's all around, guys.
Oh, man, everybody loves this show. I can't wait to hear the Riot in the morning. But I had no idea. PGA Tour 2K21 is out today.
Okay. Were they not doing any big promotion on it? Or?
Well, it could be that they were doing a big push that I didn't see. I didn't encounter. I didn't know that it was a thing.
Is that a golf game you like?
Well, you know what? Golf has been almost exclusively Tiger Woods for the last however many years. And then they did the Justin McElroy PGA Tour thing. And that's been a couple years ago. Then you had, I'm going to hit pause really quick. For those of you that are wondering, I don't play golf. I haven't since like 5th grade, just like
that
my
was
bowling.
His bowling year,
my
remember?
Bowling and golf year. But for reasons that I don't completely understand, I love golf video games.
But normally you're into golf games that are fun, like Mario and.
It's true. I have
not
been
the serious ones.
I have been a Hot Shots golf aficionado / everybody's golf / Mario golf. That is a little more my speed, but I still, and some of you will appreciate this, back in the Lynx 386 days, I was a big fan. And so I still go after real golf games from time to time.
Well, you should play it this weekend.
I might. Like, I like golf games. And
Why
so
you stream it too? That would be fascinating to see if anybody else likes it.
Well, and it would be, to me, interesting to see if, I don't know, what is it? How it compares to the Tiger Woods stuff, like what it plays like. The other game that has come out the last couple of years, they did 2 of them, was golf. I don't remember.
But there's 1 and 2 of the I don't remember.
Well, there is, and it tanked. Like the second one, nobody liked it. And I ended up, the reviews for it, people disliked it so much, I ended up not picking it up. Because people just didn't like it. So,
we'll
all right.
try this one, see the reviews.
Out today. It's coming from 2K instead of EA. So, okay, for people that know, Nikki,
I know, I'm teasing you.
It's just, she gave me the look, and I'm just telling you, for people that know, that's, you know.
It was just more like, hey, have a couple letters, make a game studio.
Sure, why not?
Sure, we'll do that.
Hey, you got to name stuff, something, it has to have a name.
You do.
You got to give it a name.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, what did we say they could do with bowling? You convert it to a drive-through experience.
Hey, just go outside and bowl.
You bowl outside, you whatever, right? Some of the businesses that have been hanging on by converting to a drive-through have been a little disconcerting.
What do you mean? Anybody, as long as you could just drive through in your car?
All right, I'll tell you what I mean. I'm talking about strip clubs.
Oh, that side of things.
I'm talking about, to be completely honest, some of the outdoor concerts where I'm supposed to drive up in my car for the concert.
Or you can sit right outside of the car, but your car
not
is
at
your...
all of them.
As long as your hand is touching...
It's like, shut up.
If you take your hand off, then...
No, look, I'm still in the car.
For the whole thing.
I'm still on it.
So if you don't remove your hand, they can't get you.
Maybe that's true. I'm on base still. I'm on base.
You're safe.
I'm touching.
Some places, like with movies, I think you can like set a chair up, but you have to be at your car.
Yeah. Now, I can tell you, of course, it's not for us that live in flyover country, wasting away in the middle of practically nowhere. But if you live in California, in the L.A. area, keeping in mind that if you don't live in the L.A. area, you don't even count as a person. They are having a Stranger Things drive-through experience.
That could be fun.
But instead of calling it a drive-through, they're calling it a drive-into.
So you get to watch it?
No, you go through, like you're going to drive your car through like Stranger Things exhibits.
Oh.
Like...
Is this like, this, okay, never mind.
So think
haunted house. Because we told you they're going to do drive-through ones.
The drive-through haunted house industry is about to really take off.
That's what they're working on. It's going to start in Japan. They already talked about the haunted house drive-through stuff there.
I'll just tell you, the photos we saw of the Japanese haunted house were terrifying.
But I still feel like, how terrifying can it be? You're in your car, they can't touch you. It's no big deal. And you can't really drive through some of it. You just sit there while this production goes on around you, and then you move to the next one.
But by that argument, isn't that a movie in general? Like, why are you so scared they can't touch you?
The movie, it's just more real.
It's more,
even though this is actually really real.
This is real.
That's movie real.
Okay, all right.
So this could be, like a Stranger Things exhibit.
So you will join a convoy. Looks like we got ourselves a convoy of 24 cars, and you will move through this drive-into experience.
You don't get to watch it while or maybe there'll be... I feel like there needs to be something else.
Well, like,
do we get a lunch? Do we get something?
Yes. You get a pizza bagel and a bite-sized Snicker.
Yeah, some snacks from, like, the show.
All right. So can I tell you what they say about it? Here we go. Stranger Things has always been larger than life, and we wanted to flip the world upside down for our fans. So buckle up like Billy's driving. Keep your eyes on the neon lights and steer clear of the shadows. Because there's no telling who or what you might come across in downtown Los Angeles this October.
Oh, so it's October.
Whatever you do, Don't get out of your car.
So the next season of Stranger Things was supposed to be out this fall, but that's next year now.
Was it supposed to be this fall?
I believe so, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say the thing I say every time we talk about Stranger Things. I should go back and watch that again.
I really should rewatch the first season.
Rewatch it.
I wonder if it holds up.
Maybe. I don't know.
We really always say that.
We always say it, and we
never
do
do.
it.
We have time now.
Yeah. Well, do we?
Actually, we always say that, too, because there's plenty of time in between the seasons.
I mean, if the day's gotten longer, we still are each given 24 hours each day with which to do what we do. It's the choices you make.
You're right.
And, Nikki, we should really prioritize watching things we've seen before over getting out there and living life.
So if you're in the L.A. area in October, this will be a drive-through experience, a drive-into Stranger Things experience.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
So there is drama, not brewing. I mean, it's just like alive and well when it comes to Fortnite and iPhones. Well, I guess Apple in general. And that's this. Fortnite has been pulled from the App Store. Now, we've talked about this a couple of times. It's because Epic broke the terms of service by offering people a different way to buy V-Bucks.
Discounted things.
I don't know like all of it, but I just know that Epic and Apple are fighting big time.
Well, Epic and Google, their store is also fighting. But Apple, Google and Apple are both going to go to court with Epic. Epic is taking them to court.
Yes, because they're saying, hey, you're discriminating against us. You give Amazon a sweetheart deal. That means you should also have to give us a sweetheart deal, like on and on and on and on and on. Now, in the middle of all of this, people are selling their iPhones on eBay for hundreds and thousands of dollars because it has Fortnite installed.
I really like how people are like, wait a minute, now we can sell. Like, for everybody who got in on selling your Switch when its high prices were still around, now you can do the same thing with your phone.
At this point, I wonder
how much you get.
Well, because, you've got to know that some of these are probably not really selling, but
they're for sale.
According to Lifehacker, they say they did some digging and some of these things really are selling for hundreds of dollars, which, I mean, I guess if you consider the fact that you're covering the price of the phone and it's a phone that has Fortnite installed. Oh, okay. If you want it. I mean, my argument for this, far be it for me to argue, would be is that if you really need portable Fortnite, just go get a Switch.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, you could get a Switch Mini
remember,
or whatever
that's
it's called.
Still more expensive and harder. So
$200. Well, if you found a Switch Lite, $200. I mean, that's going to be a bigger screen than what's on your iPhone. Plus, you got controls. I mean, but I'm sure there are plenty of reasons to tell me why I'm so stupid for thinking that.
Well, also just people don't want it to be gone. So
I know.
They just want it to be there. And this is what happens when mom and dad and, they all fight.
Yep.
Who's the one that ends up paying the price? It's all of us.
Well, I will tell you also, if you're into Fortnite but you haven't heard yet, today's August 21st, Sunday, August 23rd, they're doing the hashtag Free Fortnite Cup, which is they're doing some Fortnite stuff where they're giving away a ton of prizes, they say. 1,200 non-Apple prizes.
That's they want you to join in, and they're trying to bribe you.
So they say they're giving away 1,200 pieces of gaming hardware that you'll be able to play Fortnite on, including Alienware gaming laptops, Samsung Galaxy tablets, the OnePlus 8, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One X, and the Nintendo Switch. So if you play on Sunday and you do well,
you
could win one of those items.
You're listening to the worst of the Riot, Radio U.
So, Nikki, did you see the list that was making the rounds online, the 129 ways to get a husband?
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
It's from 1958.
So some classic approaches to getting someone special?
They are amazing.
I'm afraid to hear them.
All right. Be nice to everybody. They may have an eligible brother or son.
I thought you were just going to say be nice to everyone. Like, that's just a good one.
Be friendly to ugly men. Handsome is as handsome does.
Aww.
See, but that's good. That's how some of us make connections. Get lost at football games.
Oh, and hopefully a handsome gentleman will find you.
He's going to help you. Yeah. How about this? I love this. Ways how to let him know you're there. So, ways to get noticed. Stumble when you walk into a room.
Why are all these trying to make us look like we need the guy to help us?
That's the idea.
And that's how you get a man?
You're trying to get noticed. I will tell you right now, I was once very much maligned by a fellow staff member when I suggested that, what's the girl from the Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. She used to fall all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, those falls are intentional. And they got so angry at me. They're like, you are so cynical. You're such a terrible person. I was like, why? Like, those falls get her an enormous amount of attention. They humanize her, and it becomes very charming when she needs assistance. That is an actress getting attention, and it made them furious.
Made them very mad.
Said that. So there's that. Let's see. Wear a Band-Aid. People always ask what happened.
So, guys, you're supposed to comment what happened if you see someone wearing a Band-Aid.
Walk up to him and tell him you need some advice. Dropping a handkerchief still works.
We don't carry any.
Well, if you had. But dropping something.
Something.
Here, miss, here you go. Thank you so much.
I can get it myself.
See?
I don't want to, but I can get it myself.
Have your father buy some theater tickets that have got to be gotten rid of. So that way you have them to offer.
Because we can't buy them on our own? That's how it was then?
1959.
Yeah, I guess.
1958. Okay.
You're the one watching movies from back then? Is that how it was?
The way women are portrayed in film, in older films, depending. Yeah, I mean, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, that woman was a doctor, and I watched her stand up to several men, and they listened.
In that movie, that was so, modern at that time.
Let's see. Did I do the crying softly one? No. Stand in a corner and cry softly. Chances are good he'll come over to find out what's wrong.
Gosh. All right, well, if you're still trying to find someone, no one will fault you if you try anything. But you don't need someone to make you happy, all right?
Yeah, but this is if you want
somebody. If you want someone, if you're interested in that and getting someone to notice you. But we don't have to if we don't want to.
I do. I think there's a good mixture here. I think that you can't make someone else responsible for your happiness.
That's good.
Because you'll find out that if you marry someone to be happy, the hardest part is going to be you're still you when you get married. That'll be a bummer.
And you won't be happy.
Yeah. But the other side of it is it's okay to want to get married.
Sure.
I feel like there's often a strong you don't need somebody vibe, whereas it's okay to want somebody.
You want to cry in the corner or drop your handkerchief.
I thought the dropping the handkerchief one was charming.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there was
it
something.
It probably would be more charming back then if we still carried them.
Something charming about a woman trying to get your attention and you falling for it. These days, I suppose it would be stuff like wear less clothes.
Yeah. Christy texted, or lie about liking Star Trek. That was me.
That was you.
Well, I mean, Eric, I just wanted to spend time with Eric, and he wanted to watch Star Trek. So I wanted to watch Star Trek because I wanted to watch with him.
A 2020 twerk quietly in the corner.
And just see if someone comes over to ask what's wrong.
I can't say the rest of what's on my mind.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, are you ready to go cruising again?
Cruising, like in the car, or cruising on a big boat?
On a big boat.
Never been cruising before, unless you count like a sunset cruise on a catamaran, but not like a cruise ship.
That sounds way snootier.
Why?
I went on a sunset cruise on a catamaran. But, I'm not really much into spending the night on the water.
Or the smaller boats where they call them like the booze cruises, but, you just don't have to drink. You just go for like a sunset cruise. With snacks?
Nikki's like, yeah, I do a booze cruise now and again because you don't have to drive.
They got an open soda bar. It's fine.
That's not where this started. You're the one that brought it up.
There's lots of cruises, all right?
Okay, fine. Okay.
We're all on the water.
Here's what I didn't know. Did you know that boats, like the United States cruise industry, is under a no-sail order?
So cruises aren't going on now?
They aren't. I didn't know that.
Or are they starting in international waters? So you got to take a small boat to get to them.
There's probably plenty of that shadiness going on.
But otherwise, you can't take a cruise.
Read a fascinating article earlier this year about how basically a lot of boats are they will come to the United States, but their home ports are in different countries, and that allows them to break labor laws.
Labor laws and environmental, like water laws.
There's all kinds of things that they do. But these boats that are, home ported in the United States, they're under a no sail order. And so there are no cruises until September 30th.
Ooh.
And then
it opens.
It's boat time.
Everybody's cautiously back.
Yep.
Very cautiously.
Yep. So I'm still set for a cruise in mid-January.
Obi's doing his first cruise this January.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be sweet.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So did they say anything like what would a cruise look like with new COVID rules? Because no offense, but cruises are... The potential to get something, COVID and other sickness related, has always been very high.
I know. I don't know.
You're with everybody. It's a small space. I don't know if they've cleaned before as well.
There is an element of me like I'm tempting fate. I'm going to fly in November and cruise in January. And then I think I'm just... No, I can't say that.
What?
Well, I had an idea about what another level of escalation would look like.
But you're just going to leave that be.
I'm going to hold that back, Nikki. I'll just keep that to myself.
So if you want to go on a cruise, and depends on what they're doing to change, like do you have to wear a mask when you're on board? Is there the buffet thing? Do you get served all the food? Is the free soda thing available?
You have to buy a soda pass, but I'm buying it.
You're buying a soda pass?
Bring me all the soda.
So that will start on September 30th.
I will float.
When cruises can leave the United States, the ports.
As of now.
As of now.
Will it change? I don't know.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
It's literally like my stomach is a pillow for my back.